Hello, good morning. Well, I'm gonna talk about one of my passions since I was a child, and it's the Second World War. And I started buying 162 scale soldiers of World War II, and the passion goes on when I grow up, and I start with planes, tanks, vehicles, and now my objective is to make a big wargaming diorama of about around the world during the Second World War. Okay, now I'm going to show you more or less what I have done. Here I've got some German panzers, Panzer III, Panzer III, Panzergrenadieren vehicles, Pioneer vehicles, Panzer II, Panzer I, Panzer III, IV, Panzer 38, 35, Stuck 3. Okay, here those models I have painted 1 year before, but yeah, the objective of these videos is to explain you how it goes on. To finally, I will show you a big diorama, huge diorama with sand of the desert, snow in Russia, and things like that. Okay, here I will explain more or less a little bit what I've done. Here I've got the German army, just tanks. Okay, here I've got the Stuck 3. Here those Stuck 3 I've got to paint it, but I don't have too much time, but you will go in other videos how I'm going to painting everything. Okay, those are just painted. Okay, they were just done, I buy it done. Here I've got some ones of the late war, mid and late war. Those ones I painted also. Okay, here I've got more German army, Panzer IV, Panzer III, Stuck, Marder. And these ones I've got Marder also, Stucks, Panzer IV, Panzer. Everything I'm going to show you how I'm going painting. Okay, and here Panzer I, Panzer II, Panzer 34, 35, Panzer III, those ones Panzer IV. Okay, I will show you finally how I paint one model, for example, and after a few time I will put it on net, how finally is all the army, how it finally. Okay, here also I've got here the Luftwaffe. They have a little bit of dust, but I have to clean it. Of Luftwaffe I also have here. Now we are just having a look into the German army. Okay, later we will gonna see the other armies. Those are also painted. Here Junker 88, Dornier 17, Messerschmitt 109, Junker 188, Stukas. Okay, here more, Junker 57, Junker 86, Henkels 111, Fog Wolf 190, Mr. Smith 110. Okay, here also I have to paint all these models. I just build it, but I have to paint it. At the end I have the it's the Gustav gun. Okay, here I've got all the artillery and light vehicles like Kubelwagen, motorcycles with sidecar, and vehicles of recognize. Okay, here I've got also more guns. They will be painted at the end. Okay, here I think I've got one 88 that it's painted. Okay, this Besda 172, sorry. And here more vehicles, but at least I have to paint more and more. I've got too much to paint and to build. Okay, about soldiers, German soldiers. I've got 6,000 German soldiers in a scale 172. I've got in these boxes, for example. Here I've got I will not paint all of them. Here there are Romanian soldiers. I will not paint because just the soldiers, airplanes and aircrafts and tanks and things and vehicles, yes, I will paint it, but I cannot be able to paint 6,000 soldiers, German soldiers, 172 scale, because it's too much work. I know it would be perfectly, but I have too much work to paint. Look, okay. So I've got also American Army. They have dust because I keep it in a garage. And okay, more material. Here I've got more for Africa, more material from USA. Here I got some planes, some aircraft that I have painted also. Okay. Here I've got Polish Army. I have to paint the tanks, but step by step. Okay. Here I've got the French Army. I have more material to build, but okay. Slow, but with good letter. Okay, here I've got some Spitfires and a Hawker Typhoon that I will paint it. Here I've got the British Army for Africa. I've got more and more things to paint and to build, but okay, here I've got German vehicles that I haven't shown you before. Okay, in other videos I will show you everything, okay? And here, more Italian army and aircraft. About the ships, to build ships, it's impossible to make 172 Bismarck and as much ships as I would like. So about the ships, I had changed it, and I decided to choose for each army one scale. Okay, the scale that have more ships, for example, of that country. In the case of the German, of Kriegsmarine, German Marine. I choose Heller 14400 scale because it was the one that have more units. Okay, here we have the destroyers, torpedo boats, U-boats. Okay, and here the main ships of Deutschland. Okay, Prinz Eugen, Admiral Hipper, Admiral Scheer, Admiral Graf Spee, Lutzow, Geisenhaus, Scharnhorst, Bismarck, and Tirpitz. Okay, later I will show you better. For example, for the British Army, I choose 1600 scale because it's the one that have more ships. Okay, more units in the British Marine. Okay, here I've got some of them. Royal Sovereign class. Okay, and here more. Okay, 1600 British Marine, Royal Navy. Okay. About the Japanese, I choose 1700 because it's the one that have obviously more units of Japanese army. And I've got here, also here. About the battleships are here. U-boats, Japanese here a little bit of Japanese army, an aircraft, and also here I've got all the destroyers of the Japanese army. Here some destroyers and aircraft, Japanese 172. I know 172 scale, sorry. And here light cruisers. Okay, all the models or the units of light cruisers, heavy cruisers, Japanese. Okay, in Japanese I have all the units of the Imperial Marine. Okay, and about Russia, yes, I also have. I have in the room, I think 24 more that I paint. I have to bring it here. Those are painted. Those ones, they still not. Here I've got some guns. They are not painted with dust. I will clean it step by step. Okay. And here more guns, more Russian guns. Okay. The thing is that when I was a child, I started building tanks, but I didn't have I didn't know how to build. It takes a long time to build all the trucks of the tanks. So when I was a child, I didn't put trucks in the tanks. But when I grow up, I understand that they have to be the trucks because it's very important to make a realistic battlefield. So I start changing all the tanks I have without trucks, putting news with trucks. Okay, here I've got some German Panzers without trucks, and I don't know what I will do with them, but I can use it because they don't have trucks and it's not able to put it in a battlefield. Okay, so I've got here lots of tanks that I will have to throw to the bin. Okay, and here all these boxes, I've got all the armies. Okay, German army, Chinese army, Japanese army, Italian army, French army, England, Russia, USA. I also have Spanish army for the Civil War, the Spanish Civil War, and for the Blue Legion. Although they wear German uniform, I will make that they have Spanish uniform. Okay. And no, that's all. It's the presentation of my idea, and I will going putting on the net, on YouTube here on my channel, all the videos about painting, about how it works the day by day of this great diorama. Okay, see you on the next video. Bye bye.